Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I see Miss Thomas, so welcome, Miss Thomas, to our fourth Parent University. We're going to go ahead and get going, but if you do have any questions, definitely feel free to use the form that you see in front of you on my screen. It's bit.ly/colonial parent form. We are actively monitoring that form, and we're answering parents as questions come in. So if you don't get a chance to use it today, definitely come back to it and leave a question, and we will revisit and help support you with any matter that you might have. All right. So we're actually just we're gonna go ahead and skip to our agenda. So our agenda for this evening, it's really going to focus on an overview of Home Access Center for parents. A lot of parents might have heard the word or the acronym, they'll sometimes say HACC. But for today, we're going to talk pretty much just about Home Access Center. But of course, we're going to do a quick overview of Parent University for anyone that's tuning in, maybe that's new. We definitely want to reemphasize all of the different EdTech support options that we have in Colonial, both remote and as we begin to transition back to face-to-face. And then, of course, we're going to give opportunities at the end to do a Q&A. So real quickly, just a quick overview of the Parent University. Really, the purpose of the Parent University is to provide families with support and guidance around EdTech. I'm a parent of a student in Colonial. I'm a parent of a third grader. So I am having similar challenges as some of you are. And really the purpose of Parent University is to create a space that we can come together, collaborate, share questions, and help support any of the challenges that you might be having. We will be meeting weekly. It's a Zoom series, so we'll start every week Wednesday at 4:30. We are encouraging families to sign up on the Colonial website. I'll quickly show you that. If you go to Colonial's website and you come up to the very top, you're going to notice there's a parent drop-down menu. And if you select Parent University, we're going to be housing all of our information on this website. But if you haven't signed up yet, definitely sign up. You only have to do it once. But our marketing officer, Gabe Phillips, is sending out reminders, and we just want to make sure that you're on that email list. All right, and the last part, the series are being recorded, and they are being shared on Colonial's YouTube channel. You can actually find the recordings right here. So again, if you have something that's coming up and you're just unable to make the 4:30 time slot, not a big deal. You can always go back and you can watch the recordings. All right, the second thing that we wanted to just real quickly talk about are the different EdTech options that we have in Colonial. And what we've tried to do is really create a really extensive plan as far as different ways that families can request support. So there's actually a couple of ways that you can find a document that we created to help. If you're on your student's Chromebook, if you locate a document called Family EdTech Support Options, if you click on that, it will take you to the document. Additionally, if you go to that Parent University page that we just were on and you see in front of my screen, if I click the button down here, that's going to list all of the different EdTech options that we have. We have a family IT tech ticket system. We have a support call center. Excuse me. We have a family EdTech support form. Additionally, families can sign up for virtual Zoom office hours. So sometimes it's helpful to talk to someone one-on-one, and you can schedule that by selecting this "You Can Book Me" link. And then the last thing, what we've been compiling is each of these parent universities, we're creating the resources for the presentation using this document. So for today's presentation, like I said, it's really going to be an overview of using home access. We've included the presentation link. So if you want to go back and you want to look at the link, you can click on that. We'll post the video tomorrow. So if you come back tomorrow, you can pull the video up that way, or you can go to the Parent University page. Additionally, we added the Home Access Center website that we're going to be covering today. And also we're going to be talking about how you can, sorry, my phone's ringing, how you can request if you need to have your Home Access Center account reset, we've included that link as well. All right, so let's actually get going. So like I said, really tonight, the purpose of tonight's presentation really is to give families an overview of Home Access Center. So I think the best place to start in this presentation is really what is Home Access Center? Really simply, Home Access Center, it's a website, and it allows parents the ability to view their students' transportation information. So if you are a bus rider, you can look up the bus number that your student is on. Additionally, you can look up your student's course schedule. So you can see who your students' teachers are for PE, art, math, ELA, etc. Additionally, the great thing about Home Access Center is it also gives you attendance information. So as a parent, you can pull that up. And really, the really most important part that we want to focus on tonight is really the importance for families to be aware that they definitely should be checking Home Access Center and updating their preferred family contact information. And so when I say preferred family contact information, we're talking preferred cell phone numbers and then preferred emails. And we'll cover this as we go through today's presentation. Additionally, Home Access Centers heavily used in grades 6 to 12. I definitely want to point this part out. Home Access Center in grades 6 to 12 is used for families for checking grades. So if you have a student that's in grades 6 to 12, you can use Home Access Center or HACC to check your student's grades. So we definitely encourage parents of those students to check at least weekly, just to keep an eye on what is occurring as far as grades goes with your students. But we definitely want to point out that we don't use Home Access Center for grades in grades K to 5. We use a different system, and that system is called Progress Book. And later in the school year, we'll be doing a presentation for those parents of the K to 5 students on how to access and how to use Progress Book. All right, so why should you care about Home Access Center as a family, right? I always kind of like to kind of bring it back to, why is this important? So I think there's really three main reasons. I think the first is student safety. So by providing correct and accurate contact information, so again, cell phone and email, Colonial's better able to contact you if a need arises. So it's very important that your contact information is accurate and up to date. Additionally, we use Home Access Center for district home mailers. The district's going to be beginning to send mailers home, and you definitely want to make sure that your home address is accurate. If you've moved, you definitely want to make sure that you update your home address. And to update your home address, you have to contact your building's main office. So that's the first reason. The second reason is really Home Access Center provides families with helpful information. So it provides families, again, with information about your student's schedule. It gives you information about who your students' teachers, what their names are, and their contact information. Like we just said, it also gives you bus or transportation information. And again, we only use it for grading in grades 6 to 12. The last part, and this is an exciting thing that the district is working on, but the district's working on an email system. And this email system will allow us to easily email parents important account information on accessing all of the different educational applications that we have in the district. So as part of this parent university, we've covered Schoology parent access codes. We've talked about Securely. Today we're talking about Home Access Center. But if we have accurate email information in the coming future, we're going to be able to email your accounts and give you your Schoology parent access code, or we can give you your Securely parent access link I know last week when we talked with some of the parents, there was even a request as far as Dreambox parent access information. So we really want to stress to families to have the correct emails in Hack. And as we roll out this email system, we'll really be able to begin to target emails on all of the different applications that we have in the district. So we definitely want to kind of stress the importance of having accurate information in Hack for you. All right, so I think the next part we would start with is how do I request Home Access Center? How do I request my account? So if you do not have your account information, not a problem. What we want to make you aware of is how you can request your Home Access Center account. So again, what you're going to do is you're going to navigate to the Colonial School District's website. You're going to come up to where it says parents, and I'll zoom in a little bit, make it a little bit easier. And then you're going to locate the parent section, and you're going to notice there's a Home Access Center page here. What you'll do is you'll click that link, and really you're going to notice on this page there's we have two different link buttons. You can click here to reset your password, and you can click here to actually access Home Access. So again, if you don't have your account, click here to reset your Hack password. And what we're going to ask is you give us your email, the building that your student's in, your best contact number if we need to reach out to you, first and last name, your street address, student's last name and first name, what grade they're in, your student's 6-digit date of birth, or I'm sorry, your student's 6-digit student ID, and then last their date of birth. And then what will happen within 24 to 48 hours, we will send out that information for you to get into Home Access Center. All right, so let's go to our next screen. All right, so how do I access and how do I use my Home Access? So once I get my account, where do I go? What do I do? So again, you're going to navigate to the Colonial School District website. You're going to come up to parents, select parent here, come down to Home Access Center, select that link. That will bring you to this page, and then you're going to click here to access Home Access Center. It's kind of redundant, access Home Access Center. All right, and when you come to the screen, you're going to locate Colonial from the drop-down menu. So it's really important that you select the correct district, and then you're going to use that username and password that was emailed to you. All right, so the next part of our presentation is really, how do I navigate Home Access Center? And I think for myself as a parent, I think what's nice about Home Access Center is there's really not a whole lot of options. When you come into Home Access Center, what you're going to notice is that it's tabbed base. You have a home tab that's going to give you kind of a snapshot in the day of your student's schedule, kind of like what you see on my screen for my student. You'll notice there's a second tab for attendance. So if you select that, fortunately, my student has not been sick this school year, so we don't have any information for attendance, but this is where it would appear. Then you have a classes tab, and then this will tell you your student's schedule. And additionally, it will tell you who your student's teachers are. Sometimes it's helpful, a lot of times parents, your homeroom teacher, but you don't know maybe who's my student have for art. And I can click art and I can see right here who my student has for art if I need to contact that teacher. The next tab we have is grades. And again, we don't use Home Access Center for grades and grades K-5, but we do use it for 6 to 12. So if you have a student 6 to 12, this is where you'll come to look up test scores or grades, sorry. And then the last part, and this is really, I think, the big part we want to have families kind of focused on for this call. And really, we want to make sure that we have accurate information for both your home address, your preferred email address, and then also your cell phone number. And then that's going to help us tremendously as we begin to bring on all of the systems that we just discussed, and we'll be able to send you personalized emails to access those accounts. So Home Access Center makes it pretty simple to edit this information that you see here. Again, you'll come to this registration tab, and then on the far right, you're going to notice there's an edit button. I'm going to click that. And you're going to notice it brought up a pop-up. So let me kind of make this a little bit bigger for everyone's eyes. And really what we want to make sure is that we have accurate information in this field here. So you'll notice it tells my name, and then here's my email. So we definitely want to make sure that you go to this area, make sure your email's up to date. Additionally, you guys have my cell phone number now. It's on the screen, which is fine. Also, make sure you have accurate cell phone numbers. And if you have any other numbers that the school might find helpful to reach you, definitely leave that information in this box. So you just simply click in the box, enter in the information, definitely include area code, and then just come up to the upper right and click Save. The last thing I'll share on this screen when we were talking about your home address. So we want to make sure when we do mailers, we want to make sure that you receive the mailers. Make sure your home address is correct. And if your home address is not correct, not a big deal. Just give a phone call to your student's main office in their building, and they'll update your home address for you. Unfortunately, you cannot do that in Home Access Center. All right, so that was tip 1. This was tip 2. And then let me show you tip 3. So again, in Home Access Center, if you ever come across where maybe you want to update your password, if you come up to the upper right, you're going to notice if I hover over my name, I have a My Account button. I'm going to click on that. It's going to load this screen. And this is where if I want to, maybe for whatever reason, maybe someone got my password that I don't want to have, I can certainly come to this and I can reset my password. Additionally, the nice thing about Home Access Center is you can create questions. So for example, if you get locked out of your account, you can do a reset password, and Home Access Center makes it pretty easy. If you actually go to the Home Access Center page and you come right here, you can select the Forgot My Username or Password. You can enter in your information and it will send you a password reset to your account. Or again, you can fill out the form that we just shared, or call your school building's main office. All right, I think the last tip, again, the nice thing about Home Access Center, it's really just going in and exploring those, 4 or 5 tabs. But the last tip I want to share with you is really how you can email your students' various teachers. So if I go into my Home Access account and I click this Home button, again, this brings up the table. And I can click on any of these names. And when I click on it, it will actually open up an email, and I can actually contact that teacher directly. So that's helpful, I feel like, especially, again, usually parents will definitely always know the homeroom teacher's name, but sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to get the art teacher's name or the music teacher, etc. So you can come right to Home Access Center and you can pull that up. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to transition to a Q&A. I definitely want to take the opportunity to thank everyone for joining us for our 4th Parent University, and let you know that we're looking forward to our presentation next week. Now, our presentation next week is going to be a little bit different. What we're going to be showcasing is an application called Seesaw. And Seesaw is a new program the district has just recently purchased, and it's only being used in grades pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade. So if you're a parent that maybe has a student that's not one of those grades, you might skip next week. Of course, you're always welcome. Otherwise, what we're going to do is I'm going to stop the YouTube stream and I'm going to stop recording, and I'll take everybody off of mute, and then we'll handle any questions you might have about maybe Schoology or Securely or any other question.